Okay, that's recording too. Okay, so thank you everybody for coming today to participate in the New York State 4-H Alumni Engagement Pilot Project Workshop. Today's focus area is going to be on stewardship, and a lot of people have a different idea of what stewardship is, so I just pulled that right out of the dictionary. The conducting, supervising, or managing of something, especially the careful and responsible management of something entrusted to one's care. So in this case, it's 4-H. So I'd like to kind of open this workshop up today with a brief introduction of who you are and just a brief 2-minute story about what groups you're an alumni of. It could be a school or a club or an organization, and your current level of involvement with it. So, Judy, you want to start?
Sure. I'm Judy Wright, and I have been involved with 4-H since I was in college. I was actually in collegiate 4-H, and that was my initial exposure to 4-H. I had initially asked my dad to find out if I could be a 4-H'er, and he told me no, it was just for farm kids. Of course, that was a few years ago. And right now, I am continuing to work with 4-H'ers through our extension programming here at Cooperative Extension.
I'm Melissa Watkins. I'm a Cuba County 4-H educator. I'm currently involved with some alumni volunteers within the county and actively engaging them back into the program through things like evaluating, chaperoning, being a co-leader, things like that.
Okay, just real quick, back up to Judy. What, aside from 4-H, what are you an alumni of that you like donate money to every year or are involved in?
Well, unfortunately, the University of Delaware continues to call me every year for contributions, so I give them a small amount of money. So, yeah. And then from there, probably more locally, although I don't donate money, I have in the past, but they haven't asked for it recently. I'm a graduate of Leadership Cayuga. And so either I've lost contact with them or they've lost contact with me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't ask me for money, so I don't give it to them.
Okay. Okay.
The number one reason people don't give is they don't get asked.
They don't get asked. Very true.
Okay. That's interesting. Melissa, any other besides 4-H?
I'm an alumni of SUNY Potsdam and SUNY Portland.
Go ahead.
They both call me a lot. And they do get some of my money.
Okay. Do you have any other involvement besides donating money? Do you volunteer for homecoming or?
Honestly, I try to stay as far away from those types of activities as possible. Have you seen Portland make the news lately?
No, I didn't. Okay. Thank you.
Better get a new pen because you're going to run out.
Yes, I'm realizing that. Okay. Next.
Formal education, SUNY Oswego, and George Washington University. I don't know, as far as organizations, I've formally taught at 3 other colleges. And I'm also an alumni of Leadership Cuba.
Okay.
I've taught at ESF, JCC, and CCC.
Are you a 4-H alumni?
Actually, no, I would have been the ideal independent candidate in the 1960s, but they didn't exist. I spent 10 years working for the Wayne County 4-H Horse Show as ring setup for a cousin that was a leader, but I didn't have the right kind of animals for the club structure that was near me. So
Okay.
there wasn't an independent structure.
So you're affiliated with,
So,
Okay.
4-H affiliated for sure. I had a cousin that was a horse club leader, but that didn't work with me having feeder pigs and chickens.
I'm a Port Byron High School alum. No, they don't ask me for money. I currently, in the past, and for the Montezuma VFW Ladies Auxiliary.
okay.
Former Girl Scout, not a 4-H'er. Mother was a former 4-H'er, but also had the thought process that it was farm kids only. So
I'm a Girl Scout too.
Okay.
I don't donate to Girl Scouts. As a matter of fact, I won't even let my kid join
Not even
Girl Scouts.
cookies?
It's 4-H.
Okay.
Oh, you want me to go?
Yes.
Oh, let's see. An alumni of anything. I'm to be alumni of 4-H.
Going to be.
Yeah.
Alumni of Cato Meridian.
Yeah, Cato Meridian. You want stuff that I volunteer for?
Yes.
Volunteer for 4-H.
You volunteer for the 4-H Foundation?
Yeah, for a foundation.
Foundation, 4-H, New York State 4-H.
Yeah, I volunteer for my school too. I help them out when they need something.
And you, Cato Meridian is your current school?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the area
What about Star Committee?
Oh yeah, Star and State Fair.
Okay.
Do they fit in there?
I think that's, we'll put that under. Okay. Does anybody not know what STAR is? Okay. State Team Action.
Yeah. I don't know.
Representative Retreat.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's not 4-H, but it's through Cornell, correct?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. So that is an honor that you're involved with that.
She was involved with the Churchville Community Church,
Yeah.
volunteering for them.
No, the TH?
What's
THROOP
the
SIBLLE.
what was it, the waste, the hazardous waste?
So that would be Cornell Cooperative Extension in Cuyahoga County. Volunteered directly for that.
The clubs, right?
Okay. Just to
All I can
stay
think of
under
for
our
the
time
moment.
thing, I know we could, you're a
Go on.
shining star, but go ahead.
I'm an alumni of SUNY Binghamton,
Okay.
and I guess technically I'm an alumni of Cornell because I have a master's from there.
So technically you
I'm
are.
still there, so I don't feel like I'm an alumni. I'm still going to.
Cornell University, okay.
I was in the AmeriCorps, so I'm alumni of AmeriCorps.
Or, I'm gonna put that
It's an
under.
organization.
Oh, that's great.
I don't know, like I was stationed in nonprofit, and that was Buffalo Niagara Riverkeeper. So it's like
Buffalo Niagara, what is it called?
Buffalo Niagara Riverkeeper.
Kill every time it's here, I'm afraid.
Are you gonna do more writing?
I don't know.
Oh, because I can go get another pen if you take some people. Got a couple of words.
Does this fit with donating money like St. Jude's Children's Hospital? Is that where you,
Mhm. Yes.
that fit in there?
Yep. Yeah, the whole idea here is to recognize that you are all participants in, as a donor or a volunteer for these organizations. And somebody out there is the steward, as Liz and I are the steward for the 4-H Foundation. So as 4-H professionals, you then, by default, are also stewards of the program. And as part of the larger effort to recruit 4-H alumni and get them back in the loop as donors, as active participants and volunteers, kind of the point of this exercise is just to get you to recognize that, you know, you're a steward of 4-H, just like somebody else is or not asking you for money. They're not doing their job. But really, if you recognize, hey, you know, I'll go ahead and put mine. I went to Syracuse University, and I went to Alfred Almond High School. And somebody at both of these places is sending me newsletters. They're keeping me informed about the schools that I went to. They're asking me for money. They're inviting me to come for homecoming and to get reunited with people that I graduated with, and that kind of thing. So this is kind of an exercise of identifying, you know, what kinds of nonprofit organizations do you give of yourself, and how do you feel about that? You know, I'm really proud I went to Syracuse University, even though I'm not really big on basketball. Alfred Almond, it's a really small school. Everybody knows everybody. You know, that's I give to the Andrew Rossington Memorial Scholarship Fund because he was my babysitter. He lived up the street from me. There's a personal connection there. So to kind of, I didn't. Sorry. Go ahead. No,
I'm a 4-H alumni, a Pony Club alumni,
me too. Yeah.
Gettysburg College, and SUNY Fredonia. My church, that I support, Heifer International.
Heifer International. I haven't heard that yet. And Wolcott Church? Red Creek.
Wilton.
Just real quick, because Heifer International is international, why do you support that?
Because of the ag aspect of it, and it's helping, it's not just giving money to people, but it's teaching them how to be self-sufficient, giving them the tools to do that.
Okay, awesome. Does anybody want to add anything about why you care about a certain organization or why it is that you give your money to a certain organization? And how can you translate that back to 4-H?
I think the point that you suggested earlier is, you know, just keeping in touch is important so that you have that connectivity and you feel like you're part of something bigger, so that's why you would support it. And I think 4-H is important in that it is some part of something bigger, and I always get excited when I hear people say that they were in 4-H before, because there's that automatic connection. You have something in common.
Go ahead, Melissa.
I think that there's the idea that you got something out of that, and so you want to give back, or you believe in the mission of what that organization does. So, you know, for example, you're talking about education. educational institution and you got a degree from there, you have an investment there, you receive something from there, you believe in what they're doing. And even with your charitable organizations, believing in what the mission, what they're doing.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so just for an example, if you were to go, if you were at a dinner party and you meet a couple people, you say, oh yeah, I work for 4-H. Were you in 4-H? And if that starts the conversation, right away you have something in common, and you already know by virtue of the fact that they're in 4-H that you both common belief. Okay, Doug, you want to add anything?
I think my thoughts are being skewed a little bit because of the philanthropic presentation that Judy and I saw yesterday morning, but I think the fact that roughly, what was it, 10% of the givers to organizations, they described as something like respecting from afar. So they may have been affiliated at some time in the past, maybe parents, grandparents, whomever, and now they're at the stage of life where they're making decisions. They might not have given to an annual campaign, they might not have subscribed to your newsletter, but suddenly, as they're making life change decisions, they become the $1 million donor that nobody knew was even affiliated with that organization. And so I think that sort of overall mindset that we don't know who in the community was involved with us 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 25 years ago, but those people may be respecting and watching what's going on and not be vocal or directly connected on an ongoing basis.
That's a very interesting thing, especially with what we're trying to do with the 4-H alumni engagement program, because of record-keeping habits over the years, we don't know who all the 4-H alumni are. And other organizations are doing a much better job at that than we are. But like you say, it doesn't mean they're not observing and going to the youth building at the fair every year and watching what's going on. Do you have anything to add? Peggy?
Mine more fits in the belief in what they're doing because of the fact that I donate to the Children's Hospital. I also donate to the Breast Cancer Foundation.
You have like a personal connection?
The Breast Cancer Foundation, yes. St. Jude's Children's Hospital, no.
Okay.
Just because I want to help.
Okay. Brittany?
Can you restate the question again?
I'll reframe the question for you. After you graduate from college, from high school and from college, do you have any feeling now at this point in your life of what organizations you're going to choose to support and why are you going to support them, either financially or as a volunteer?
I'll definitely support 4-H because just being in it, I've already learned so much and stuff. And I'll support it like funding wise and being a volunteer. Yes.
Awesome. Is there any other organization your mom mentioned? You know, actually
Probably,
interested in?
yeah. I'll support hospitals and stuff too, like she does.
Because you want to become a pediatrician.
Yeah.
Is there any other organization at this point in your life, if you win the lottery tomorrow, that you would support?
Mm-hmm.
Just for any reason other than what's on here?
all of those reasons pretty much.
I think all of those reasons are good, but another one, so I have given to Binghamton a few times, but I think I've given to them because they give me the option to specify where my money is going to. So knowing that my money is going to something that I support rather than just like paper clips.
That's a really good.
Sometimes you need them.
I might have to paperclip that money.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That is a really good.
Yeah.
How about within 4-H, what program would you give to if you could?
In general, I would want to see public presentations continue.
You know, you can donate to the foundation and designate it to the public presentation fund. We have one.
Yes, so that's good to know. But yeah, I think that's a good point because we've heard too many times, I think, in the press over the years that, you know, such and such an organization misused the funds, and that kind of makes you say, well, I don't really want to give my money to just anybody because they could misuse it, whereas I would rather use it for myself. So I think that does get in the way. But if you really know that you can say, okay, I don't want it to go into the general fund for the Christmas party, that it would end up with supporting youth with public presentations or something like that. It may, I think it would help people feel better about their gifts. But at the same time, saying that, I mean, unless there's overhead generated from somewhere, the organization that's stewarding these funds isn't going to be able to stay there to help with the designation of the gift. So I don't know how that gets balanced out.
Okay. Okay. You're so right. Yeah, because if there aren't operating costs, I mean, the organization has to pay your staff. Okay. That's
And
true.
I think there's a different sense of accomplishment or connectivity. When you give directly, whether it's donating your time or dollars or support to a campaign with an agency, it's different. So I'll call the United Way gifting the path of least resistance. You can take it on your paycheck. You don't have to write another check. It comes out bi-weekly or semi-monthly, whatever. But you really don't know. You're not directly connected. There is no feedback in that. There's nothing unless I feel like I need to do that again next year personally, that I get any feedback from it.
Right.
Where, if I offer to go take somebody fishing and show them how poor a fisher person I am, I've got a direct connection there.
Yeah.
Or working with a 4-H club or whatever. So I think that some people say, well, I satisfy all my need by contributing through the United Way, and I don't do any other gifting in any other way because it just comes out of my paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's like the vanilla fudge path of least resistance to me. You just gave some money, it just came out of your check, you didn't know where it went, really, but there, I'm done.
Right.
But there's no personal commitment in that.
Mm-hmm.
You fill out one form once a year.
And for some people, that's
Right.
their preferred method. So, yeah, so as we're trying to reach our 4-H alumni, maybe they're just, oh, I'm too busy and I can't, whatever. But I'd be happy to make a donation to support it, and that's good enough for them, and that's okay. And I think understanding that our 4-H alumni, for all these reasons, are would like to participate. I think we can assume that they had a good experience and they want to give back to 4-H. And for some of them, if it's easy, they'll do it, and they're happy to do it. And for other people, they want the greater connection, and that's helpful to understand as we're all seeking to engage alumni too. So just to come going back to stewardship, I just wanted to ask real quick, and again, I know this is like going round and round, but what are some ways that you guys express your thanks to donors or your volunteers? And I'm going to use a couple of words, specifically gratitude, acceptance, grace, appreciation, or respect. And how can you utilize these concepts to appeal to 4-H alumni to participate as volunteers or donors?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. What are some ways that you currently like, how do you show appreciation to the volunteers you have in your programs now, or how do you show them? I just have the words gratitude, acceptance, grace, appreciation, and respect. So aside from, I'll start things off. As part of the 4-H Foundation, we write a thank you letter. If somebody sends us a check, we send them a thank you letter. If it's designated for scholarships, we say, thank you for your donation to the scholarship fund. We're going to tell you a little bit about who won last year and offer them some information, and maybe a link to the website which tells more specifically about each student who was a recipient of the scholarship that year. So that's just one way. Another way is if Liz and I run into somebody at the state fair who we know is a donor. We know them, we have a relationship with them. We'd give them a tour of the youth building. We'd say, hey, you want to see what Cayuga County's doing? We'll go down and take a look and see and show them how their dollars are impacting